You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 20th of May. India says normalcy hard to return with Pakistan, reports. POJK activist alleges 50% of mosques in Pakistan serve as terror fronts. And Sri Lankan president calls for true reconciliation 16 years after civil war. And now for all the details. New Delhi on Monday reiterated that no third party was involved in cessation of hostilities between India and Pakistan, as India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri briefed the Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs on Operation Sindoor. Multiple reports quoting sources said Misri in his briefing to the committee said the offer for an understanding to halt the military activities had come from Pakistan and added no other country was involved in between. Dismissing US President Donald Trump's claim of being the broker of the ceasefire, the Foreign Secretary said while there were routine talks with Washington, there was no mediation from United States. Sources have indicated Misri conveyed to the Parliamentary Committee that the recent military confrontation with Pakistan was entirely in the conventional domain and involved no nuclear signaling from the other side. Reports suggested when questioned about Turkey and Azerbaijan's support for Pakistan, Misri labelled them along with Pakistan as three brothers and said Ankara and Baku were never India's traditional supporter. However, he dismissed that India was diplomatically isolated during the conflict. Sources have said Misri also ruled out normalcy between India and Pakistan in near future. India has launched Operation Sindoor in aftermath of Pahalgam terror attack, which targeted terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. However, in retaliation, Pakistan's military engaged with Indian forces, escalating the tensions between the two nuclear-armed nations. After social media went abuzz claiming Pakistan fired Shaheen missile against India, Islamabad has said the claims regarding the use of nuclear-capable missile is false. In a statement, Pakistan's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan said, Islamabad rejects the unfounded allegations over the use of nuclear ballistic missiles and terms it as disinformation. However, the statement acknowledged the employment of long-range Fateh series missiles F-1 and F-2, as well as advanced munitions, long-range loitering killer drones, and precision long-range artillery against India between May 7th and 10th in the aftermath of India's precision strikes on 9 terror hideouts across Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. This was also confirmed by Indian military officials. Talking to ANI Director General of Army Air Defence, Lieutenant General Sumer Evan Dakuna said Pakistan had launched nearly 800 to 1,000 drones across the western border over 4 days. But it was successfully intercepted and destroyed through coordinated efforts by Indian forces. He highlighted that these aerial attacks by Pakistan intended to harm India's civilian population and they were directed towards population centers. Lambasting Pakistan's denial of targeting Sikh Shrine Golden Temple in Amritsar, the general highlighted that for the first time, the shrine's lights were shut and air defense guns were deployed in the Golden Temple to thwart Pakistani attack. Talking about report of Pakistan military shifting the general headquarters from Rawalpindi to some other location, the Army Air Defence Chief said entire Pakistan is in range of India's military. India has an adequate arsenal of weapons to take on Pakistan, right across its depth. Taking a dig at Pakistan, the general said GHQ can move from Rawalpindi to KPK, but they are all within range. They'll need to deep hole it to hide, he added. Notably, after Pakistan targeted Indian military installations, India in a pre-attempt action struck the Noor Khan Air Base, used for VIP movement and around 7 to 10 km from GHQ Rawalpindi.
The head Granthi of the Golden Temple allowed us to deploy our guns. And it is possibly for the first time in maybe many years where they switched off the Golden Temple lights for the first time. so that we could see the drone coming. India has an adequate arsenal of weapons to take on Pakistan right across its depth. So from its broadest to its narrowest, wherever it is, the whole of Pakistan is within range of. So we are absolutely capable from our borders or even in depth, where we can take on the entire Pakistan. And the GHQ can move from Rawalpindi to KPK or wherever they want to move, but they are all within range.
Moving on. Political activist Sajjad Raza has made a startling claim that nearly half of Pakistan's mosques are being used as terror fronts. He further warned that POJK remains trapped in a cycle of terrorism, neglect and military control. A report.
Professor Sajjad Raja, chairman of the National Equality Party for Jammu Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan and Ladakh, has exposed Pakistan's deep-rooted support for terrorism, flagging concern that almost 50% mosques are terrorist camps. Commenting on Operation Sindoor, India's response to the Pahalgam terror attack, he said it has forced terror outfits and the Pakistan army to be more cautious. But he warned, as long as China shields Pakistan, the terror threat won't go away. The world must stand up to state-sponsored terrorism.
As far as Pakistan is concerned, I think almost 50% of the masjids in Pakistan, they are terrorist camps. And in POJK, there are camps at many places. These camps are now, they have taken different forms actually. They are not typically, like a common person can't understand whether there is training being given at some place or not. But there are definitely many more camps in POJK, and in Pakistan there are hundreds of camps in Pakistan where the people are trained for terrorism and then to carry out the acts of terrorism.
The activist further slammed Pakistan for prioritizing terror over development, calling it a garrison state. He said around 7 million people still live without basic infrastructure in Pakistan's illegally occupied territories.
There is no comparison between the facilities and development in mainland Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistani occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Now, there is not even a single hospital in POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. About 6.57 million people live in these areas. And there is, I repeat once again, there is not a single hospital for this 7 million population. There are only small medical units with very basic medical facilities, and people with any complex medical needs or people with any serious conditions, they are always referred to Pakistan, to Rawalpindi, Lahore, Karachi and Islamabad. And many people pass away while traveling to Pakistani hospitals.
From widespread terror camps to collapsing healthcare and growing unrest, Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir remains in crisis under Islamabad's rule.
In an effort to provide affordable and reliable internet service, Elon Musk-owned SpaceX has launched satellite internet service Starlink in Bangladesh. Taking to social media platform Facebook, Faiz Ahmed Tayyib, Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor, announced that the services are launching with two packages, Starlink Residence and Residence Lite, at a monthly cost of 6,000 and 4,200 taka respectively, though a one-time cost of 47,000 taka will be required for equipment setup with unlimited data at a speed of up to 300 Mbps. The official said companies will have opportunities to expand their business into areas where fiber or high-speed internet services are yet to reach. Various NGOs, freelancers and entrepreneurs will benefit from this advancement in internet services, he said. Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor of the Government of Bangladesh, had approved the license for the American non-geostationary satellite orbit service provider last month, making Bangladesh the second South Asian country after Sri Lanka to welcome Starlink. Sri Lanka's President Anura Kumara Dissanayake has said the country remains incomplete in its freedom despite the end of the civil war in 2009. Speaking at the National War Heroes Commemoration Ceremony in Colombo, he stated that a military victory alone does not mark national triumph. 16 years after the conflict, he emphasized the need for lasting peace and justice, describing Sri Lanka as a nation soaked in the tears of its people. He warned against political forces in both the north and south trying to reignite ethnic tensions and pledged to pursue reconciliation and unity. The civil war between the Sri Lankan government and the liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam lasted nearly 3 decades and ended in May 2009. It was marked by serious human rights abuses by both sides. Meanwhile, the Human Rights Watch on Monday reported that despite promises, past and current governments have failed to launch credible accountability processes. The rights watchdog has urged renewal of the UN's Sri Lanka Accountability Project, warning that the continued use of the Prevention of Terrorism Act undermines reconciliation efforts. And during the ongoing spring expedition in Nepal, Indian national Rakesh Bishnoi and Romanian climber Banna Zsolt Vego have become the latest fatalities, taking the toll to 9 this season. 39-year-old Bishnoi lost his life at the Yellow Band near Camp 4 on Sunday while moving down from the 8,516-meter summit of Mount Lhotse. In a separate incident, Romanian climber Banna Zsolt Vego, identified as a 48-year-old experienced mountaineer and videographer, died while making a summit push on the same mountain. Nepal typically sees a surge in climbers during the spring expedition, which runs from March to May. Fatalities during these months are not uncommon due to extreme altitude, unpredictable weather, and physical exhaustion. World's 4th highest peak, Lhotse, shares part of its route with world's tallest peak, Mount Everest. Given its terrain, Lhotse is often considered a technically challenging peak. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.